I was very curious when going through this last slice of the Cuphead show to not see just one, but two holiday themed episodes. One called A Very Devil Christmas. When I watched it, I was delighted to see Santa and later horrified. But let me start from the beginning. I'm in awe with how this episode starts. We see a very snowy Inkwell Isles that looks beautiful. The city's calm with everyone focusing on shopping for gifts, gathering trees, and relishing in the holiday spirit. The music is very soothing, and it creates this atmosphere that gets you into the serenity the special is aiming for. It almost makes you want to live there. Almost. The city does have one person that makes it a bit debatable. When it comes to evil characters, the most generic way I've seen them react to Christmas is just to flat out not like it. Christmas is about sharing gifts and being nice, and if you write an evil character, especially a flat character, clearly evil people don't like nice things and sharing. The Cuphead show doesn't do that. The devil actually gets into the spirit, but in a devilish way. Obviously, your story may vary, but I do enjoy it when evil characters are humanized to enjoy regular things because it both gives them depth, thus avoiding being one-dimensional, but also creates unique moments that gives your character more personality. The devil goes about it in such an elegant yet bombastic way, dropping snow on people, turning objects alive and violent, burning the Christmas tree. It really builds up that the devil is not a nice person, which sounds like a no duh, but if you go back and watch Cup Stage and Roadkill, it's really hard to tell.
Oh, what a marvelous little train. Oh, there he goes. Oh, look at the little wheels!
I was honestly taken aback that the devil would want something as relatively primitive as a train set. If this were Cuphead and Mugman, I would completely understand, more on them later. I guess the thought I had in my head would be, why not just take it? You're the devil. Well, the episode has an answer for this, and I found it to be understandable but ultimately unsatisfying, basically saying that getting it for yourself and getting a gift means different things. That very well may be the case, but the thing is he wanted the train set before learning of like a nice or naughty list, so he wouldn't have thought to have it as a gift from Santa at that time. In the meantime, we would see the devil learn about how Santa works via his nice and naughty list by eavesdropping on this kid.
I want a spaceship! Oh, you wanted those same presents last year, Sammy Sandwich, but you didn't get them. And why was that again?
'Cause I glued my sister's face to the floor.
You know, it's almost like you want to end up on that naughty list.
Naughty list? What the heck is that?
Maybe it's just a Gumball fan in me, but a nice food-based design can go a long way, and combining with this kind of art style, you have something magical that I don't think any other show airing new episodes at this moment can compete with. The devil learns that there are two lists, one for the good kids and one for the bad kids. Although he aspired to be on the list for the bad kids, his opinion quickly changed when he learned that only good kids get gifts. And that leads me to a question that I wanted to ask you guys.
When you get on that naughty list, you don't get no presents.
Oh.
Uh-huh, that's why I've been trying to be nice all year. Yeah, it really sucks an egg. But I just know it's all gonna be worth it when I get that spaceship.
Now, I don't know every Christmas song, but I know one song that has a lyrics that says something like, he sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Does that mean that this kid lost his rocket the moment that he admitted to acting ingenuine? Or because he technically did those good things, he should be rewarded for doing those good things regardless of what those reasons are? What does good exactly mean here? This is gonna keep me awake all night. Meanwhile, the devil makes his way to a meeting where people are complaining about their lunches being stolen.
What would have to happen to, let's just say, get on Santa's nice list?
I thought you said he didn't know about the list.
Henchman? You knew about the nice list? And you didn't tell me why?
This right here, stuff like this is what I want to see from the devil. Not just destruction, but destruction with purpose. He annihilated that guy like a pawn because he is one, yet retains his composure with everyone in the room treating him seriously. Mind you, just 2 episodes earlier, he was laughed at for acting like a cat. This isn't to say that we can't see antagonists in a casual way. One of the aspects I enjoyed about Phineas and Ferb is that Doofenshmirtz can be seen in a casual way. The same goes for Plankton from SpongeBob. However, However, I would argue with these two characters, I very rarely got the feeling that their characters have changed away from their core, and they've went through many more seasons than this show. Here we have the devil offended that he can't be evil and on the nice list, just 5 minutes before expressing the disgust for said nice list, hearing it from a child that he had to be nice for a year just to be considered. Did we listen to the same conversation?
I'll make this quick, Santa. I'd like to inquire about this nice list of yours.
Oh, I see. This is about a present. Well, just whisper into Santa's ear what you want.
He then wants the classic experience of sitting on Santa's lap and telling him exactly what he wants. The theme of this video ultimately is going to come down to, I see what this episode is trying to do, and I think it did a lot of things really well, but when you put them all together, I just don't really see the magic. They want to portray the devil as being evil, but not too evil to be also childlike, to want to appease Santa, but at the same time have this power over people and be menacing and threatening. And I get all of these things individually. When you look at these each one by one, they all make sense. However, when you try to fit them all into one special, it just kind of seems weird. Like, why not either go full childlike, you know, have a rivalry with the kid over a gift, or want to get on a nice list just to spite people, or on the other side, go fully evil and maybe forge his name onto the nice list, or accidentally take Santa's soul and have to reap the consequences. The way that this episode goes about it, it's like at this weird halfway point, and it's really confusing for me.
The devil. The devil. The devil? You're the devil? You're #1 on the naughty list. You've been a very bad boy indeed. You haven't been nice one day since the beginning of time. I'd be impressed if I weren't so horrified.
It is very important to remember that Santa is A, aware that the devil hasn't been nice since forever, B, he's literally at the top of the naughty list, and C, he met the devil because the devil just wants to train. Keep these things in your back pocket. When you frame this episode in the sense of being fully childlike and forget that not just a few episodes down the line, he's going to turn into a full mob boss and order Chalice to betray her friends, and just a few episodes before, he was trying to mentally break Mugman, I can see this working pretty well. I feel for the devil sulking in Santa's chair, totally wrecked because he can't get on the nice list to get his present. If this season does one thing well, you will feel bad for this character because he's sulking and whining throughout a significant chunk of it. However, Santa gives him a semi-easy challenge, be nice for a day, and your name on the naughty list will be waived. Just to defend what you're about to see, in fairness, the introvert in me would do the same thing.
Nice. Gotta be nice. Gotta get on the nice list.
Spare some change for the less fortunate.
Ew!
What happened?
Well, I was off to a good start.
Seeing that the devil can't keep his part of the bargain, we literally see Santa wave a carrot of another deal. And the devil begging, literally on the floor begging, claiming to want to do anything for Santa. And this is where everything kind of changes. It goes from Santa being a nice and jolly character to a druid who is about to change the devil from the inside out, quite literally. The atmosphere goes from innocent and sweet to dark, and there's a lot of illusions one can make here, but I'm gonna step over those. I'm gonna leave that to you guys in the comments. Basically, what you need to know throughout this deal is that Santa performs a chant, casts a spell, and now the devil finds out exactly what the deal was. The deal was that Santa bound himself through mind, body, and soul to be linked within the devil. Now, this isn't the part where I thought Santa was unhinged, that's coming up soon. Aside from the insane implications here, the animation and music really sold this transformation process. I felt the pain the devil was going through physically, but also empathized with how confused one would be in this situation. Mind you, Santa never said what the deal was, just that it comes with a cost. The devil is in shock with his new look, which is in complete contrast with how Henchman views him, especially when learning that he is not Santa, but he indeed met Santa. It's actually quite wholesome.
You met Santa?
Yeah, he's a psycho.
Oh, I have so many questions. Do his eyes twinkle? Is his nose like a cherry? Does he shake when he laughs like a bowl full of jelly?
Henchman!
Haha, poor buddy. Now, I want to explain why I think Santa is unhinged in this episode. We've established that Santa knows that the devil has been naughty since the beginning of time. He is literally on the top of the naughty list. He is only being nice for a train set. The devil also learned about how to be nice purely for the gifts from a kid who's being nice purely for the gifts. With all of that said, here is Santa's plan. He morphs himself with the devil, or at least his physical form, and gives the devil one task: deliver presents to all of the children of Inkle Isles, or Christmas will be ruined forever, for eternity. If he does so, he will receive something, implied to be a train set. And if you don't believe me, watch this clip here.
How do I get back to normal?
You must deliver presents to all persons on the nice list. If you do not succeed, you'll stay Santa Claus for all eternity. Eternity, 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 eternity.
Now, some may see this as a bit extreme, but I see this as absolutely unhinged, risky, and kind of dumb on Santa's part. Don't put the worst and naughtiest person up to task to keep Christmas alive. Giving the most generous benefit of the doubt, let's assume that this is a front and he actually didn't put Christmas on the line for one person. The devil will ultimately still be the devil with or without the train set. In fact, the train set really isn't even that important in this episode the way that it's written. Outside of that one scene, you could have replaced the train set with like a bike, for example, and nothing in this episode would really change. In fact, the devil even kind of admits this line of thinking when he speaks more to receiving a gift than about the gift itself. There is a near infinite more to lose in this scenario than gain. Santa is indeed insane here. Some of you may bring up that drastic times call for drastic measures. You would have a hard time convincing me that putting the future of Christmas on the line for one person wanting a train set that they saw just one day out of the blue and heard about the naughty and nice list out of the blue via eavesdropping on a conversation is a sane and rational decision. Luckily, what sells this episode to me is Henchman, who again is quite the MVP this season.
Santa must remain jolly at all times. Must not ever, ever, ever lose his temper.
Quit wagging that figure in my face!
See, no. That right there, that's exactly the kind of thing you can't do, boss.
Oh, right.
The devil has a big battle against being jolly and being himself. Whether he is flipping out on the stickler elf or scaring away the reindeer because he doesn't feel that he needs to remember their names to do a stupid roll call, you've probably seen this story before. Bad guy gets humbled through manual labor of delivering gifts, and over that time, through the experiences had, realizes the true meaning of Christmas. That's not really what happens here.
You're gonna make so many kids happy tonight. Careful with those.
He's breaking the presents. He continues to break presents. Jolly people don't break presents. Nice people don't handle other people's things with carelessness. This is not addressed in the special, by the way. Now, in fairness, at the same time, he's seen being electrocuted, attacked by dogs, and forced to eat a ton of milk and cookies. But even after these moments, he is still breaking the presents. I will say, it is a nice touch to give Telephone his soul back after the events of Roll the Dice, which I spoke about on this channel. Getting back to the point though, because Santa and the devil are essentially the same, wouldn't he know that the devil is breaking presents? Wouldn't he know that the devil is only doing this for a train set?
The only reason I've been doing any of this is for my choo-choo. Now, how many more houses do we have left?
Good news. You've only got one house left. Ooh.
However, we get to the main event. The last home left on this list is his adversary, whose tree was ruined by the events of Holiday Tradition, which is a fantastic episode. I would argue better than this episode. The devil is forced to do the utmost sacrifice relative to this episode anyway, and that is not just deliver a present to Cuphead's household, but deliver the present that he wanted and has been adamantly begging for this entire special. He takes note of how Cuphead himself has also been naughty this year. I would agree, but I guess Santa didn't take all of the unnecessary rude behavior to mean naughty. The devil foreshadows his own demise by saying,
"What better present is there than learning a valuable lesson?"
It also doesn't help that we see a softer side of Cuphead in this episode. Even if he can be a jerk sometimes, he is still a kid, and a kid who enjoys Santa nonetheless. He considers meeting Santa better than getting any presents this year, which makes the devil crack and give the train set that he's always wanted to Cuphead.
Boss?
It was awful. I did something nice.
I know what they actually mean here is selfless, not nice, but I can't stop to think just 2 episodes ago, you enjoyed spending quality time with Elder Kettle, even if posed as a cat, and even if it was a ploy to get Cuphead's soul. They made it very clear in that episode that on some level he does enjoy niceness. And then in Cup's stage, towards the end of that episode, he enjoyed being a stagehand. He enjoyed the praise that he got for his work being a stagehand. He was shown to be a lot more complex of a character by wanting to be adored for his love of the arts, specifically theater. This story would work a lot better if you didn't spend this whole season showing me that the devil is just a casual person, just a guy. Even if we put this episode in a vacuum, getting someone who's at the top of the naughty list and has been on the top of that naughty list since the beginning of time to deliver presents to everyone else, including the one present that he wants, is not just a Christmas miracle, not just millions to one, but grounds for rewarding that behavior based on what would keep that person on the right path to niceness. The devil gets his name on a nice list, and upon returning to the North Pole, he is finally free from his duties as Santa returns to his original form.
Your present is even better than a choo-choo.
Better than a choo-choo?
Oh, yes. And that present is... the joy of being nice!
So, you finessed the devil out of working, which, by the way, you deliver presents 1 day a year, and you thought that the devil delivering presents for 1 day would get him on the path to being nice, just based purely on the spirit of giving? Is Santa, when he's fused in the devil, not aware of the devil's actions, the devil's thoughts, and the devil's intent? He stated very clearly in plain English, he's only doing this for the reward. The devil, rightfully so, calls them
A bunch of idiots!
and leaves, presentless, after doing a good deed. Or relatively good, he did break the presents. And these 2 bozos have the gall to shrug as if they didn't know who they were dealing with. Fortunately, Henchman saves the episode by building the devil a train set, but not taking credit for it, instead allowing for the devil's happiness to be more than enough for Henchman. I'm so mixed with this episode, because on one hand, Santa and his intent really sully this episode for me. It makes me enjoy holiday tradition a lot more. Until then, check this playlist here for all my other Christmas content. Take care. Alpha out.